This guy, do you know who this guy is? He's the Chief of Staff of the United States. His name is General Mark Milley. And you want to know what he says about Ukraine? Listen to what he says about Ukraine, and I'm going to explain to you why it's interesting.
Just in Ukraine's interest. It is in the global interest to protect, as the Secretary pointed out, the rules-based international order. And that is our purpose that has been given to us, the uniformed military, from our civilian leadership, which is to uphold the rules-based international order that was established some 80 years ago at the conclusion of World War II. And our end state is equally clear. It is to ensure that Ukraine remains a free.
So that's where that video ends. I got it off Twitter. And why is that important? What is he actually saying? It sounds like he's not saying anything. They just want the rules-based order. What he's actually saying is this Ukraine war is about our hegemony. That's what this is about. It's about us controlling shit. That's what this is about. I'll play it for you again.
Just in Ukraine's interest. It is in the global interest to protect, as the Secretary pointed out, the rules-based international order.
The rules-based, meaning what we say goes, because we don't follow any rules. When we invaded Afghanistan and occupied it for 20 years, we weren't following any rules-based order. When we invaded Iraq and killed 1 million people, we weren't following any rules-based order. When we illegally invaded Libya, bombed the shit out of them, turned that state into a failed state with open slave market, we weren't following any rules-based order. When we went and dropped 26,000 bombs in Syria, we weren't following any rules-based order. They call it rules-based order. What they mean is the United States rules the world. That's what this is about. So we don't follow any rules or order. That's all bullshit. Right now, we're occupying a third of Syria. Which third? The oil part. We're stealing Syria's oil right now. What rule does that fall under? So what he's saying here, so you have to know what you're looking for. What he's actually saying, this is about us staying in control of the world. He's just saying it. And if you don't know what the words mean, that's what they mean. We are going to be in control of the world, and that's why we're fighting in Ukraine. I'll play it for you one more time.
Just in Ukraine's interest. It is in the global interest to protect, as the Secretary pointed out, the rules-based international order. And that is our purpose that has been given to us.
And that's why we have 1,000 military bases around the world. So we can have our Western hegemony, and we can stay in control of the world militarily. That's what he's saying. That's the in between the lines. AZ Geopolitics says, in less than 30 seconds, explain why the collective West is aiming and funding Ukraine with everything they have. They know this is a downfall of their hegemony if they lose Ukraine, which they are going to lose. Actually, it was established by the U.S. 31 years ago, meaning the rules-based order, without the agreement of sovereign countries. They love to blur the line between post-World War II and post-Cold War. The former was a balanced world. The latter is nothing but U.S. hegemony. So after World War II, we actually did have some kind of balanced world order. But ever since the Cold War, it's been nothing because we have nobody to check us. The United States doesn't have Russia to check our power anymore. So now it's just United States hegemony worldwide. Here's what Caitlin Johnstone tweeted out. She says, the Wolfowitz Doctrine, set up after the fall of the USSR, made it U.S. policy to ensure no other superpower develops which can rival U.S. supremacy. It's important to understand that this wouldn't just apply to nations like Russia and China, but to the European Union as well. And then she points to the Wolfowitz Doctrine that says all that. Here is, that's another segment. So let me bring in Jackson. Jackson, anything I get wrong?
No, you got it right. And the one thing I'd add to this story is that I almost, when I saw that clip initially, I almost thought that it was kind of a response to something that Vladimir Putin said a week ago that got zero traction in Western press for some reason. He was asked by a large Russian newspaper whether or not Russian leadership plans on permanently occupying Ukraine. And Putin's been asked this question like 1,000 times since the war began. And for the first time ever since February 24th, Putin didn't respond to that question with an explicit no. He looked at the reporter and said, well, you know, situations are changing and we have to consider that. So it's something that, you know, we have to think of. And he's basically saying that, you know, maybe Ukraine won't exist as a formal state by the end of this whole war. Who knows? What Milley's responding to here, it kind of seems like that.
Yeah, yep. Sounds like it. So the United States are the world's terrorists. Just so in case you didn't know, we're the world's terrorists. We set the Middle East on fire. We're helping commit a genocide in Yemen. We're doing the same. We're in bed with terrorists in Ethiopia, Somalia. We're in bed with terrorists in Syria. We're the one doing the terrorizing as usual. Hey, we're going to see you in Miami, West Palm Beach, Denver, Palm Springs, Austin, Burbank. That's right, the Saturday after Thanksgiving here in Burbank, and lots of dates in Los Angeles in December. Go to jimmydorcomedy.com for a link for all our tickets and join our premium program when you go there too.